Welcome to another episode of Together We Rise, Building Our Nation. And tonight we have with us no other than Yasus Afari, a man who needs no introduction. You know, a man who is the voice for poetry in Jamaica, across the Caribbean, and into many other countries. You know, great Yasus, welcome to the program. And so they know, you're also the manager, director of SenYAcum Entertainment. So welcome Yasus to the platform. Together We Rise, Building Our Nation.
Yes, Ian, give thanks. Just to say it's SenYAcum, and we have several entities in SenYAcum, including edutainment. You say entertainment. We marry education with entertainment, so we call it edutainment. We have been developing that for over 30 years. We actually own that trademark in Jamaica. We don't really enforce it, but we own it for decades. And so SenYAcum Edutainment is an arm of SenYAcum. We do publishing, production, promotion, and publishing. So we do several things under the SenYAcum umbrella.
Well, thank you for that update there, Yasus. So we all know Yasus is here tonight to tell us a little about Poetry in Motion. And if I don't get it wrong, it's the 18th staging, one of the longest running poetry annual event, not just in Jamaica, but across the Caribbean. And this is gonna be the second, I think, virtual staging of the event. Yasus, just while you tell us much more about this event and how you're able to pull off this in such a pandemic.
Right, so we correct you again. I think somebody picked up an article, and I think they didn't do a little bit of maths. So they have it as the 18th staging, but it's actually the 19th staging. So last year was the 18th, and this year is the 19th annual staging. We started in 2004. And so this is the 19th annual staging. It is the longest running, not one off. It's the longest running and most successful annual poetry festival in the history of Jamaica and the English-speaking Caribbean, possibly further afield. And so you're right. This is our second virtual staging based on the pandemic situation. So in 2020, we had one of the last public live events in Jamaica because the pandemic caused the shutdown about 3 weeks after our staging in 2020. And so last year, we were forced to go virtual. And so we had a very successful virtual staging with people from across the world and in Jamaica as well. And so this is our second annual. In terms of Jamaica Poetry Festival, which is another poetry event that we do, this one is Poetry in Motion is based in Mandeville. Jamaica Poetry Festival is based in Kingston. And so we have had 2 virtual staging for Jamaica Poetry Festival. Now in its 12th year, this year we are celebrating the 12th anniversary of Jamaica Poetry Festival, incidentally on Sunday, August 14th in Kingston. However, we are talking about Poetry in Motion, of which the 19th annual staging will be held in Mandeville on Sunday, February 27th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We won't say the venue because of the government's protocol. We might be limited to, to just performers, media, and technical team. So, we don't want people turning up uninvited, so we won't say the venue, but it is in Mandeville. And so, Poetry in Motion, my brother, thanks for the opportunity again. Poetry in Motion really speaks to music, dance, and comedy, storytelling, fashion, and poetry. So we actually present the entire spectrum of the literary, cultural, creative, and performing arts. And it's clean, intelligent fun for the entire family and the entire community. So it's an eclectic event that is all inclusive. We don't drop word on people and cuss and antagonize. We have to inspire, empower, uplift with poetry and the other arts in the creative spectrum. And so we take social responsibility very seriously, and our event was designed accordingly. And so it's really a community-focused event. We use talents in an entrepreneurial way and we assist a needy member of the community. We started with the Manchester Infirmary in 2004. We have done Ebenezer, Children's Home, Boy Scout, Gilbert and Georgia Allen Education Trust, 3D, Candy in the Dark, New Green Children's Home, and now for the highly clacking Bipolar Foundation. And currently our charity is Friends in Need, and they are located at 10 Hargreaves Avenue in Mandeville, and they look after battered women and children and mentally challenged people and homeless people. They do a bathing and feeding and clothing program and all kind of stuff. So we have helped them for the past 8 years now, because what they are doing really is very critically important, something that maybe I don't know if I could do it. And so we really respect the credibility, and they are around for 30 years. So they stick to it. We believe in stick-to-itiveness. And so we have been supporting them. And this year again, we are supporting Friends in Need. People can do a drop-off at their location at 10 Hargreaves Avenue. And on the night of the streaming, we'll show their bank account number, so that if someone wants to make a donation to them, they can. We don't accept donations, Poetry in Motion, edutainment, SenYAcum edutainment. However, our charity, they are recipient of any donation that someone might have, be it cash or kind. And so we'll provide that information on Sunday, February 27th, a live stream, 3 to 5 p.m. Poetry in Motion, our 19th annual staging. And so that speaks to what we have been doing. We have presented people from France, Germany, Africa, Brazil, Taiwan, Belgium, UK, Canada, America. And for this year now, for the very first time, we are going to India. So we're presenting Esther Joel from India. The first time we are doing anyone from India. And we have a Jamaican living in the United States. He lives in New York. Trudy Knockless will be featuring her as well. But in addition to that, we'll have our special guest of honor is Errol Dunkley. And Owen Blakka Ellis will be our host. We have Professor Clinton Hutton. We have Jamaica's current poet laureate, Dr. Olive Senior. We also have the principal of the graduate college, Primrose. As well, so certainly I won't let myself out. But we also have a team of both young, not so young, but aspiring poets. And so we call that segment the Generation Next, which includes Sammoya Banton, who's a student of Hampton High School. She's from St. Elizabeth. We also have Karae Brown, a former student of NCU. She now works with Heart Academy. Alia Garden as well. And Fabian Summerville, among others. And also, we have the Golden Tongue Awards. And so, what is the Golden Tongue Awards? The Golden Tongue Award really is a poetry challenge. We don't like to speak of a competition, but it's a challenge really, to write about some aspect of Jamaican life in a socially responsible way. By that we mean, yeah, we have problems, whole heap. But we want at the end of the poem, you would have offered some solutions, some insights into how these problems could be alleviated rather than compounding these problems. So we want people to be proactive and to be a kind of preventative than curative approach to our social re-engineering through poetry. And so that's the task for the poetry challenge. And that is going exceptionally well. We have some very, very good poems coming through. Last year, it was won by Dr. Winsome Miller-Rowe. And so this year it's up for grab. And so we'll be presenting the first winner. You notice we say first winner because they are all winners. And so we have the main one and the runners-up. They are all winners. And so we'll be presenting those three at Poetry in Motion this year as well.
It sounds like you have a very interesting lineup there, Yasus.
Yeah, my brother. I think so. Thanks. We have Errol Dunkley, who is one of the child star of Jamaica. He's performing from age 14. Black Cinderella, is maybe one of his signature hits. And many others. You can Google him and check him out. He's active from in the 60s straight up to 2022. He has current releases, and he has a significant release in 2020 that made the international charts. He's well traveled, especially in Europe, and he's a crowd pleaser. We have Owen Blakka Ellis that will bring some amount of comedy. He's also a poet. He has a book out now as well, and but he'll be hosting and doing some spots where he'll spice and season up the thing with his comedy like no one else can. We have Stephen Wise, who has worked with Patti LaBelle, Boys to Men, and Stevie Wonder, among others, Max Priest and others. He's on the bill as well. He's a singer and an instrumentalist. He plays about 6 musical instruments, so he'll be featuring himself both on vocals as well as some of his instruments. And he's an interesting act. He intersperses his performance with the different instruments and singing and so on. He's a crowd pleaser, and he's there as well. And you have the young and aspiring, as well as the established people. You have Professor Clinton Hutton, who is a professor at the University of the West Indies and now currently assigned to Michael University College. He's a painter, poet, philosopher, and a historian. So he'll be bringing an eclectic presentation to include elements of all the above. We also have Fabian Summerville, who is a former student at NCU. He's currently in the United States. He travels between the United States and Jamaica. But he's a very good socially responsible singer with a positive message, speaking to pain and emotions, peace and love and social issues, but always responsible. And he fits with clean, intelligent fun. He'll be there as well. And we have a few surprises, so we won't tell you about those. The Esther Joel from India is another very interesting act. We can't wait to present her as well. And certainly, I'll be there, captaining the ship, and wearing several turbans, which is what I do at my events. But I've managed to do that, and so. I love to perform, I love to be on stage, I love to inspire and empower and uplift and give people something to think about. So I'll be bringing, you would call it a pandemic performance, giving the people a shoulder to lean on, embracing the people with poetry, challenging them with thoughts, and inspiring them with hope and insights so that we can be a better person after the experience, and we can be better equipped to navigate these challenging times. And so that's what we want to do at Poetry in Motion, with clean, intelligent fun for the entire family and community. When it is physical, it's the same formula. When it is virtual, it's the same formula. Clean, intelligent fun for the entire family and community. We start on time and we end on time. We're not very strict at the back end, really, in the sense that we give a little allowance for maybe a 10 minutes overflow. However, we start sharp on time, and we are scheduled to end pretty much at 5 p.m.
Whoa. So, Yasus, there's another question I wanted to ask you for a while, because over the years, in terms of sponsorship, we have seen that you have been able to bring in some of the big names, corporate companies and institution, organization behind the whole Poetry in Motion over the years. Tell us about the sponsorship this year and the strength.
Brethren, said, may I go recruit you on the team, We're happy that last year, I think it was last year, yes, a former entity that you are a principal of sponsored that event. It seems as if you had made some transformation. We fully anticipate your return for Poetry in Motion 2023, which incidentally will be on Sunday, February 26th. And that is our big bang 20th anniversary celebration, history in the making, because I was thinking that, yeah, we need to cover the sponsors, and then boom, you pick my brain, man, you pick me mind, you know, and you ask me exactly that. So that's why I said I forgot to recruit to you work with the program like it was scripted, eh? So we have had, as you rightly say, my brother, you are very keen on your observation. We have been able to attract and appeal to and sustain significant sponsorship from corporate Jamaica, especially in these times when every cent counts. So we have the super ministry, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, captained by seasoned politician, but a seasoned campaigner and a hard worker, Olivia Babsy Great. You know, so we're not too like politicians too much. But at the end of the day, these people are human beings, and when they do a good job, we have to acknowledge that. When they do a lousy job, we're not afraid to chastise them either. But she has a super ministry, and we think she has been working very hard. And we are happy to have them on board. That is the ministry which controls what we do in the formal sense. And so we are happy to have had the support of our government via the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports. We also have the pleasure of retaining sponsorship support of the Jamaica Tourist Board, which carries brand Jamaica across the world. They have recognized that in our humble little way as cultural diplomats, we have been carrying the banner across the world. And so it's a good mix to have the Jamaica Tourist Board on board with us. We also have Jamaica National, which is our indigenous bank, one of the greatest and fast rising. And they are really a grassroots centered financial institution and very socially responsible and conscious. And we are totally delighted. We have a very good working relationship with them, and we are very happy that they are on board as well. And so we have VW Investments. Wow. That is headed by Valentine Wint, who is a former student of St. Elizabeth Technical High School. And so we have known each other for decades upon decades. And so VW Investments, that is, has been sponsoring Poetry in Motion for 19 consecutive years. You don't get better than that. And so we have the services of JPS, Jamaica Public Service, the Light and Power Company of Jamaica. They are on board with us as well. We also have IRA FM, the #1 reggae radio station on the planet Earth. And so they were there last year. They have been there previously as well. And we are delighted, totally delighted to have them on board again. We also have Soundchat out of the United States, pretty much functioning out of the tri-state area, but they are in 31 cities across the world, including in Israel and Japan and some countries in Europe. So that's a good catch right here to have Soundchat Radio on board with the popular Irish engine. We also have Images, which is a media marketing company that has been giving us some support in the United States and beyond. They are on board as a sponsor as well. I hope I'm not fault nobody else. If you want to help me, you can help me here. So, but we have who else we have on board now? We have obviously Jamaica TV Radio, and that's 2 words, Jamaica TV Radio, the T and the V and radio, all in one. So that's Jamaica TV Radio. That's a channel that is steadily growing on YouTube, and so that will be the principal stream, and we'll be providing stream for IRFM. So you see, Jamaica TV Radio step up in the league, the #1 reggae radio station on the planet Earth. And we are in our embryonic stages at Jamaica TV Radio. And we have done it last year, so it's not like it's entirely new. And so we are doing it, again, put it that way. And so Jamaica TV Radio is on board. You know that SenYAcum edutainment is the principal driving force for this as well. And I know you have the flyer. Any sponsor we leave out about when you start a full sponsor, you know, trouble, you know.
I think you meant NGP.
NCB, why they may want another case, a family, it's almost like a blood relative, man. So NCB is on board helping with the trophies for the winners of, the winners of we call them the Awardees, Golden Tongue Poetry Awardees. And so how could I leave out Caldors? We don't have enough time, but I have to tell you a little story about Caldors.
Go ahead, man. I have time for that.
Caldors produced the very first song for Garnet's sake. So he's a staple in Mandeville. His father is very popular. He has a bakery and a restaurant on Ward Avenue. So his son named Colin, he's actually Colin Collins. So his company is called Caldors. He has done work for people like the boxer Lewis from the United States, many other. And so he's a very vibrant company based in Mandeville that offers windows and doors, not offer, well, I sell and service windows and doors across Jamaica, really. And so he was at the very first event. And he called me the following year, a little bit late, and said, I want to be a part of this because some people, he was saying that he was passing the venue the very first year in February 29, 2004. And he said to some people, oh, what happened down there, so? They say, I want Rastaman to keep an event down. They say, Rastaman? Which Rastaman that? He must say to me, he couldn't believe say Rastaman pull out them people in the car. He a man live a man, So he say people step out of them car together. Or some couple when they're supposed to officially go out ever. the type of vehicles, the type of dress to push foot, thing we say go on, and the type of people we say come and say, no man, no Rastaman can't keep that event there. Man say, yes man. He say, which Rastaman that? They say the dope boy, the Yasus. He say, Rockstone. Him say, Yasus, I don't think you know where you are though. And we want to be a part of it. Most boy you call late because we flyers out. He say, me no business about that. Me not have to depend on the flyer. We just want to be a part of it. And he sponsored us for quite a few years. And then he's back on board this year. So we are really happy to have a returnee in the form of Caldors, who has been, very generous from the very inception. And so that's an interesting story leading up to our 20th. And so we also have Learning Links International, which is a UK-based entity, like a social enterprise, that it is based in the UK, but does work in Wales, Ireland, Scotland, and Australia, among other places. So interestingly, I am involved with a project that Learning Links is spearheading. It is called Creative Collaborations Online. So they want to model what we are doing at Poetry in Motion. And so it is actually the Scottish government that is sponsoring that event through Learning Links International. And so Poetry in Motion is being used as a model of how we can collaborate creatively online in these challenging times. So we are happy that we can be an example and a model for even governments around the world. And so that is a feather in my turban, my brother, jewel in my crown, if you want to say that. I'm delighted, you know what I mean? Because, we are grassroots people, we are grassroots revolutionary people, but we're diplomatic and we're socially responsible. And our mantra is one earth, one love, one humanity. So we like to work across the cultural, racial, social, political divides, because we are the glue that hopefully will help to bring humanity together so that we can have peaceful coexistence, so that human beings can live in prosperity, sustainable peace and love and justice, so that we not mash up ourselves and damage ourselves and destroy the planet Earth in the process. So we are happy to be supporting the initiative of the Scottish government. It's a wider UK thing, but it is being centered around Scotland. So we'll involve poets from Ireland, Wales, England, and Scotland, and Jamaica as well. I'm heading the Jamaican contingent. I'm leading the Jamaican contingent. I'm one of the leaders for the project internationally as well. And we are delighted that Poetry in Motion can be a model and can offer that service at another level internationally. So that's Learning Links International. And then we have monographic printers at Roosevelt Avenue in Kingston. They have been with us for quite a while. and they are very dependable. Offer possibly one of the best printing service anywhere in Jamaica. And so we ask people to support the people who support us, because it is not easy. If you notice, our event last year was free to the public. This year is the same principle, and so we are able to do this courtesy of the sponsors and unofficial sponsors like Together We Rise. Because the editorial media support that people like you have been giving us, very valuable, very cherished, and helps to make this thing possible for us to deliver high quality, clean, notice me stress that, clean, intelligent fun for the entire family and community. When we have our physical events here, people turn up pregnant, picking in a hand, in a lap, picking a walk beside them, people in a wheelchair, young, old, in between, Indian, Chinese, white, African, rich, poor, educated, uneducated, you name it. People who believe in a God, people who are Rasta, people who are Muslim, people are atheists, people are Christian, Buddhist, you name it. They are there, and nobody feel insulted, feel intimidated, feel threatened. So, you see, one of the reasons we are able to attract and retain our sponsors, and they are now talking, and I find it very inspiring, really, because the other day I got a lecture from Jamaica National Group. They were lecturing me about SenYAcum and what I am doing. I sit down like a good student, because sometimes you don't even recognize what you do, because you are ready and you're used to yourself. But when a corporate giant like that point out and said to me, and somebody said to me this week too, as a matter of fact, today, JN said this to me, I think it was today, Sunday, so it was week before last. They said, Yasus, there's not another company that we know in Jamaica doing anywhere near what SenYAcum is doing. And I said, wow, that's interesting for somebody like that to be saying that. And so they said we are even helped to inspire, and that's why they had me on board at the Christmas concert, because that approach was an eclectic approach like what we have been doing. And so the synergy that we have had with them has obviously benefited us tremendously. And in our humble, limited little way, they have benefited by the synergy as well, because it is a good brand, good attitude to align their brand with. They are family-centered, youth-centered, inclusive. They are eclectic in terms of their portfolio and the demographics and psychographics that they appeal to. And we are the very epitome of eclectic all-inclusiveness with clean, intelligent fun for the entire family and community. So it's a happy marriage, really. And we don't even call them sponsors anymore. We call them our partners. So they are our partner sponsors. And so just since you are so gracious, we have the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, Jamaica National Group, Jamaica Tourist Board, RFM, Soundchat Radio, Caldors, JPS, Images, Jamaica TV Radio, VW Investments, Learning Links International, Monographic Printers, and we have, other supporters such as NCB and people like yourself from Together We Rise, as well as Grooving Radio, Caribbean Life magazine out of the United States. Some of these people are not really very fussy in terms of being acknowledged and recognized. We always insist that if you support us in kind, at least allow us to say thank you, because gratitude is a must, and thank you is like science. If you want to work good over, just remember to have gratitude. You don't need to do no wickedness. Gratitude and thank you is a science where you have the universe at work for you. The Almighty God promised to fulfill your dreams once you have a heart of gratitude, because in Jamaica we say, ungrateful was an obia.
Well, yes, I just want to say we want to give it up to all of the sponsors who really sign on board with you. I just said, just partnering, with the energy and the synergy that you offer. And with that, Yasus, we know you're a man who basically, as a individual personality, you've been able to draw from across the world. Even last year we think about Benjamin Zephaniah and them man. You able to reach, sometimes I say even further than a prime minister who have basically obligation for traveling to certain country. But through you, the music, the poetry, the whole edutainment, we have seen the connection that you have made. I have to ask you how one man been able to be so strong, connected across the globe.
Well, my brother, give thanks for your kindness and generosity. And even though my team lean on me, I now want to make it appear, I do a lot of the work myself, honestly. But I have a team still. And it's like, when you come to the physical event at that time, you see my team up and going. Them kind of a little bit camera shy. So they don't really know for themselves and they don't really like to be seen publicly. They prefer me do the TV interviews even when we insist. And so we have a team, but largely speaking, I'm the captain for the ship unapologetically, and for good reasons as well. It's a brainchild of mine. I'm passionate about it. I love what I've gotten from poetry, and I want to say thank you to Mrs. Alka McDonald, who inspired my very first poem, and certainly to the St. Elizabeth Technical High School family and extended family, the past student association network around the globe, as well as the College of Arts, Science and Technology, as well as Rosal, All-Age, Basic and All-Age, and BD Comprehensive. I attended that school and it was Junction Secondary. So, it takes a village. And I'm a child of the village of all the people and the institutions I have named. I have to say, Mama Derry, my mama who has transitioned, she's with me. And she has been and continue to be a source of inspiration as well. And so, we have to say these entities really and institutions have still helped me and helped me to have the fortitude, the stick-to-itiveness, the tenacity, the entrepreneurial spirit to do what I'm doing. And so we have to say thanks to Learning Links International that has been responsible for a lot of my activities in Wales, England, Scotland, Gambia, Australia, Japan, New Zealand, and a few other countries, Belgium as well. So they have been, very supportive. And so what happened is that when I travel, remember I said Jamaica pledged to advance the welfare of the entire human race. But I don't really know if the man who write that thing there, the country of Jamaica really take that as serious as I take it still, because I look upon it and say one earth, one love, one humanity, and Father Marcus Mosiah Garvey and I'm a child of His Imperial Majesty. And so we have this idea of the whole human family living together on the planet Earth as one, irrespective of color, class, or creed. So when I travel, I like to go into prisons, schools, universities, diplomatic missions, the indigenous communities, especially indigenous communities. And so I've had good relationships with the Aboriginal people in Australia, and I maintain those relationships. The people in New Zealand, Aotearoa, the Maori people. I keep good contact with the Brazilian people, the Celtic people in Europe. I keep good contacts with continental Africa. And Africa. I've been to at least 7 African countries, and I'm in touch with Africa on a daily basis. And so what we were able to do in 2020 with Jamaica Poetry Festival at our 10th anniversary, when some of my team members and associates were saying, yes, what's not about to pressure yourself, man. 1 year now, I'm going to kill you. Why not just love it this year? I said, what? No retreat, no surrender. And so we use that negative, call it a negative thought, that challenge, as a positive. I'm saying, watch this. If you're our 10th anniversary, we're going to pull poets from 10 countries. I'm just draft in my network. And I was able to pull poets from Iran for the first time in the history of Jamaica, South Korea for the first time in the history of Jamaica, Botswana for the first time in the history of Jamaica, Netherlands, I don't know if for the first time one, we can't say that, but it's a bit rare. And we pull poets from Canada, USA, England, Trinidad, Barbados, and Jamaica. And may I tell you, people nearly broke on creek, government, corporate giant, media houses, journalists, cultural practitioners, both in Jamaica, the region, and around the world, look on Jamaica Poetry Festival seriously when we pull off that. No, we know how to pull it off. pull it off for live TV, first in the history of Jamaica. You have a poetry event in its entirety, broadcast live as it happened on television. That has never happened in the history of Jamaica. And so we were able to do that in 2020 in the pandemic. Our powerhouse, RGR Gleaner Communication Group, the biggest media entity in Jamaica and the Caribbean, at least English-speaking Caribbean. I also know about the Hispanic, but certainly for the English-speaking Caribbean. And so we were able to do that. And we're happy if we said that these people, invested that level of confidence in us. Because if we never did right, it could be chaotic and problematic and disastrous. But we did the due diligence like we normally do. So it's good to put your best foot forward and do the best they can do. People are observing you. And when the time comes for them to engage with you, that confidence and that goodwill will translate into business and into the production and promotion that we were able to do then. And we were able to repeat at the PBCJ last year. Again, live and direct. And as you said, my brother, Benjamin Zephaniah, one of the penultimate black panel on our planet Earth, he was featured. And at Jamaica Poetry Festival in August, we featured the one and only Linton Kwesi Johnson. And we honored and had one of the top 5 guitarists of all times in the world, the Jamaican called Ernie Ranglin. And we honored Dr. Velma Pollard, and we featured our poet laureate, as well as we featured the Canadian ambassador to Jamaica. They are a sponsor of Jamaica Poetry Festival. They support what we do. We also featured Jamaica's ambassador to Japan, Ambassador Shauna K. Richards. She was on that event. And so this time around, no less, we have some very distinguished presenters, both singers, musicians, performers, comedians. And so we have Alea Garden. She's very young. She's about 6-7 years old. We have Trudy Knockless. We have Karae Brown. We have Sammoya Banton, Fabian Summerville. We have Elsa Joel from India. We have Stephen Weiss, musician, singer, instrumentalist. We have Primrose. We have Jamaica's poet laureate, Dr. Olive Sr., first time at Poetry in Motion, rarely perform outside of Kingston and the other centers. So it's a rare opportunity for Central Jamaica, but it's virtual, so you can watch her from wherever you are. She's a first time at Poetry in Motion as well. And we have Professor Clinton Hutton and the one and only Owen Blakka Ellis, who will bring the season and the spice and the laughter more than anybody else to the event. And we have our special guest of honor, the one and only Errol Dunkley, Mr. Black Cinderella, among many of he has other hits he'll be doing for us on the 27th. And certainly the captain of the ship, last but by no means least, I hope, is yours truly. I'll be there doing edutainment at the best that I can for our people who have supported us for 19 years and for our supporters across the world. And so we'll be doing broadcasts from live broadcasts intermittently on RFM, but we'll be streaming on their platform as well. And we're happy to have them. We'll be doing some links with some chat radio, and they'll be doing some delayed and some interviews both before and after. We are getting good media support across the world and in America in particular through the support of Images, which is a media marketing company in America. And so Jamaica TV Radio will be streaming on YouTube. So that's Jamaica, one word, TV Radio, TV Radio. And so your listeners and viewers can start check us out and now and get familiar with where we are. I would have had that history so that when the time comes, you'll find us easily. But we'll be sharing as of this week the links. So we have already created the link, just counting now for the 27th. And so people can get comfortable and familiar. Tell a friend, come together in your home, man. We want to pick up Natalie Fagan Brown in the UK. They, for the past several years, they have a like a house party where they bring food and drinks and all kind of stuff and just watch from in the same space. And we see other people doing that. We have some friends in Toronto doing that. So we want people to kind of build that vibe because, you know, there's a social distance. I don't even know if a social distance, I'm sure I call it. It's more physical distance. Because even if you're physically removed, you want to be still sociable. Even on the phone and the internet, wherever. I mean, so even when we have to be keeping our distance based on the directives and the protocol, we want to still, within the protocol and within the responsibility to each other and to ourselves and to our country and community, still do things together, which is okay. And so, you know, share with each other. Yeah, this is thing I want to Jamaica Poetry Motion, clean, intelligent phone, everybody can watch it. Kind of that argument we want across the world as we seek to globalize Poetry Motion leading up to our 20th anniversary next year. So, my brother, I tell you, you're a good listener because you press me switch, I mean, say I don't know that things. But no.
No. All right, yes, I hope I don't put you under any pressure because if people been watching, they'll see my little daughter moving around, and it's hard to get her out of the mix. You know, each time I come on live or anything, it's hard to keep her out of the mix.
No, not pressure yourself. It shows that you're a good father and a good family man. That's a part of what we are doing, and we are keeping things real. We don't have to the pretentiousness. So you have a father, your daughter rally with you. She should be a part-time to man. Carry on the frame too. You should make it nice. So what? You know what I mean? Good man. Me no problem with that as a matter of fact. I love see too. I mean, I think none of our kind of listeners. So weird enough. You say, oh, so we better make it a there.
Well, that never touch with because Mikaya, the young poet, you know, last year we had the privilege of seeing Mikaya basically co-hosting with you, you know, and this year, I don't know if it's gonna be a surprise, but could you tell us a little bit about the young poet Mikaya and I think Jamaica next big TV and radio host?
Look at, don't get me started now, because you're wrong. You are going until midnight. All right. It's Mikaya now, brother. I don't know if you say. I mean, obviously I'm a proud father, but Mikaya is a special youth. She's so focused, so disciplined, so respectful, so considerate, she's full of empathy, and she's a mother's only child. I might watch back. So, you know, those children could be, you know, she's from a very privileged extended network as well. So those children, if you're not careful, could be spoiled and could be like a bratish. But my daughter, no boy, you know, she really is a considerate child, full of empathy, discipline, focus. I mean, listen, you know, after the playing and same the campaign that we did last year, and in the midst of that, she get our very best annual report from one of the best prep schools in Jamaica. Our lowest grade for the last academic year was an A.
Wow.
And the lowest grade was an A.
Congrats, Mick.
Yes, so I tell you something about her still. So, to be honest with you, some people say, why I make her into a poet? No. Mick is not a yes girl, you know. So if Mick feel it, she do it. If she not feel it, she say, Daddy, it's okay, I'm taking a break. And she said, Daddy wanted to teach me all about it. So she wanted to learn about. One year we had her writing up check. One year we had her helping with production. One time she performed. One time she co-host. She performed at Jamaica Poetry Festival last year as well. And then she said, Daddy, yeah, that's why sometimes I'm good to teach picnic some words, you know, kind of use it back my. So she said, Daddy, I'm taking a sabbatical. And so she decided that she's going to do commercial. And so she did the very first commercial for Poetry in Motion. That I think I've shared with you as well. Telling people that SenYAcum Entertainment presents Poetry in Motion, Jamaica TV radio. She's involved in Jamaica TV radio, and she has her own channel called Make Think, MIKTHINK, on YouTube as well. And so she's a clean, intelligent, fun for the entire family. She likes that. And so she did a commercial. We don't, if you have been a surprise, we don't necessarily want to give away anything, but we always have surprises. And whether or not Mickey's in front of the camera, you know, something I just say something where maybe me never say it. I mean, we should have hold it until next year. But did you know that I met Mick's mother at Poetry in Motion?
Wow, that's new.
Next year and some other time. So much emotions and good energy tie up in this thing. That is remarkable. And then Mick knows this. And so she has a very, well, obviously a pride of place in my heart. She's at the heart that beats outside my chest. But she has sentiments tied up in Poetry in Motion because of that history. And so, you know, Mick's mother and myself, we decided that we have to do it in a measured way. We don't want kind of over expose her because we're very protective of her. She's a youth who lives in a gated community. She's not very exposed. She don't take public transportation except maybe the aircraft sometimes. So you know, while we like this kind of exposure for her, and she did a really serious media blitz last year, and sometimes she gets a little bit, you know, we went to the bank and did the bank. Oh, Mick, can I have your autograph? She gave, oh, that's Mick. So sometimes she's like shy. She's like, oh, but she don't mind the attention still, because she's a little girl and you know she's beautiful and talented. But you know, we kind of want to balance it and have a measured approach to the thing. We don't want you to come under too much pressure and expectation. Being Yasus Afari's daughter who is a poet, we want you to be a own person. If she cares to be a poet, fine. If she cares not to be a poet, fine. If she cares to do some aspect of the production for our company and Poetry in Motion, Jamaica Festival, Poetry Festival, fine. If she cares not to, fine. She's under no pressure. And she's not even somebody who can really pressure either. And so we work with Mickey in such a way that we have never presented her unless she consented. We just say, Mickey, have to do this. That's not how we relate to her. And it's difficult to relate to her that way. We talk to her, engage her, ask her what she thinks, what she wants, what she would like to do, like not to do, how she would like to do it, what would you like to wear. We give guidance, obviously, you know, but we like she to take ownership, take leadership, because she has the ability, and we have seen her demonstrate almost impeccable sense of responsibility. I mean, you know, every time Mick says homework time, so daddy have to do some homework. Come she reason a lot, you know. I talk about me, she reason for 3 hours straight, you know.
Big reason.
Listen, if I tell you some of the reason when me and she have you, let tell me say a lie. One of the favorite one is that me and she reason from she have 5, but not 10. Which is nothing. Because through quantum physics, we know that nothing is the unqualified state of everything, and everything is simply a qualification of nothing. And nothing is everything in this unqualified state, and everything is simply a qualification of nothing. We reason numerology. We reason quantum physics. We reason Mendelin. We reason energy. We reason about the creation. We reason about astrology. We reason about one of our recent favorite area for me and she reason about neuro-linguistic sorcery and neuro-linguistic healing. Yeah, you hear me answer to you? This is a 9-year-old child, you know.
Deep and balanced.
Listen, if you hear some question which I ask her now, from she's 6, she said, Daddy, I have a question that I want to ask you because I have something that I've been thinking about for a very long time. She said, Daddy, what is life? Is life real? And why are we here? 6-year-old. When she was 5, she said, Daddy, Mommy said that I come out of our tummy. I was just coming back from our tour, so we were, we were happy to see each other after maybe about 6 weeks. So it looked like when me was not around, she and her mother maybe have some conversations. Because she and her mother have that, that mother-daughter bond we're a bit different. So the reason, she's comfortable reason with any of us, two of us together by herself. She say like who she want to ask certain things. Sometimes my mother will say, I figure daddy could stand up and I say, but anyway, so she was saying, Daddy, mommy said that I came out of back tummy. But daddy, and then mommy said that every baby came out of the mother tummy. But daddy, if every baby came out of the mother tummy, then where did the first baby come from? He said, Mikaya, that is a very good question. I'll try to give you a good answer. I say, the first baby come from the Almighty God, which is nothing. Because nothing is the unqualified state of everything. And if God is to be everything, he has to be nothing. Because if God is everything and not nothing, he will still not be everything. And I say, let us count. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After you go to 9, after you go to 10, because 10 is really 0. And 11 is 1, and 12 is 2, and 13 is 3. So, oh, Daddy, I want to go to 20. I say, yeah. And I say, no, nothing is also the melanin temple. And I tell her what is melanin. I tell her about melatonin. I tell her about energy and the definition of energy. Energy creates and cannot be created or cannot be destroyed, but can be transformed from one state of existence to the next. We use water as an example, which chemical formula is H2O. And I tell her what is H2O. I'm sure that even if water is solid, liquid, and gas, it retains its essence, its chemical formula, which is H2O. So we use that to define energy and life and be sure how the the whole thing go and birth and from growing up and caring and sharing until time appointed, based on her own destiny and choices, she'll be a mother with her whole family and will give birth to her own children and continue from one generation to the next, because it is why it is called generation, because we are regenerating ourselves. So anyway, the mother kind of get a little bit upset with me and said, Yasus, if you get to she only 5, we have to buy that foolishness. I said, you don't understand. There was Mikaya to the rescue. No, mommy. Actually, it makes a lot of sense. But mommy, how come I get it and you can't get it? So the mother speechless for about 3 hours after that.
I just leave her alone.
And when we reach to the house and cook and share out, she finds back her speech. So you see, you get me started, and that's the kind of person that Mick is, and she's easy to love. She's a daughter where inspire me. Obviously, you see the situation with Plain and Simple. She was in the studio with my current hit single, which has entered in the Reggae Foundation chart, number 17 on the chart this week after entering 10 weeks ago at number 30, moving to 21. Now it moves for 4 places, 17 this week. She was in the studio helping to produce the recording and the harmonies. So she's in 5 different levels. That because the people in the studio, the harmonizers in the studio, when they recognize how talented she is and how much we value her opinion, they never ask me, so what do you think about this? So what do you think about this, Mick? I'm more than likely anything that Mick goes with, I can go with. All right, listen, we had several mixes for who understand music and who don't understand we are teaching. We have several mixes. You have a straight mix, you have a mix where more rhythm centered, more dub centered, heavier drum and bass, less rhythm, less keyboards and strings, and you have different mixes. And so one of the mixes, Mick like that, and Mick insisted that that's the one I'm supposed to release. So we couldn't kind of decide, and we think it's a producer's job. So one day I was speaking to the producer, and we said, well, Mick is saying, so she said, let me talk to him, Daddy. We give her the phone. She tell the producer exactly which of the mixes him to use. And the producer said, wow, Mick, that's the one I wanted to use. That's the one I'm using. So we said, well, you go, Mick. And that is the mix that we had. And it is now a hit and climbing. So, me feel, me empower mix, but don't get it twisted. Mick empowers me as well. No uncertain way about that. Mick is like a powerhouse to me. It's almost like when I make a reason or a par or a flex. I have more pep in my step, man. I feel strong. And she too, you can see pan her. She feels strong. So we support each other, we strengthen each other in every conceivable way, you know, for a child and a parent, for a father and a daughter. And so yeah, she's all over the thing.
Yeah, well, I love it, you know, the father and daughter relationship that you have going on. And the good thing is she have great parents, you know, good parenting. And
yeah. So we want to big up our mother, Kai. Because Kai kind of camera shy when she ready. But she's a strong powerhouse of a woman. And the good thing about she and I still, we kind of give priority to Mick. You know, we love her so much, and we find a formula where we full joy each other's company, we do things together, we look out for each other, Mick look out for us, we look out for Mick individually and collectively. So we want to use that opportunity to pick up the mothers, pick up the fathers, pick up the extended family, and we are encourage the ones who, you know, if your money even short some of the time, nobody watch that, man. Let's go help you do some homework, do some little things with them in the garden, go out with them on an adventure tour, ask them about them schoolwork, even if you don't like that. The very fact that you ask them how was school today, let me see your book, that make the youth feel good enough. You can see it if you observe the youth, you know, when you're looking at them face, them eyes start shining when you do them things. You know what I mean? When you cook and make them help you do what them can. Obviously, you know, carry them in a certain sensitive area of damage themselves, but whatever they can manage, you make them help you and you tell them, and when they ask questions, go out that kitchen, you know, ask me no. You don't really cost your child. No matter cost you walk like your mama, you walk like your papa. But what's that about? You're not supposed to do that. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, you're speaking negative energy to the youth. I mean, that's say you're going to say, oh, your father is the best if he isn't, or your mother is the best if she isn't. But accentuate the positive, man. And make that conquer the negative. And we children need, remember that. Nature abhors a vacuum. So if you're absent for your children's life, other people go full of vacuum. There are some undeserved characters. We hear the news. We know what is happening, even in our very own homes. So you have to be there for your child with the credibility and the integrity and the confidence that your child come to you and talk to you about certain sensitive issues. Because if they can't talk to you, who them out talk to? So you know, it's important in family. And so that is why we keep a family. And you have to be doing things together. That is why we say your daughter welcome in the thing, man. We are doing things together, keep it real, keep it how it is, not illusion. I mean, obviously we have to have a professional standard, but at the same time, we are redefining the standards. Because enough of the things when people embrace will result in what happen now, it's not good enough. And some of the things, the farm where them play value upon, them not play value upon some of the substance. We need 50 more value to substance and less upon farm and hype and frivolity and superficial trappings and deal with the substance of the matter. And while talking about that, we are happy to report to you and Together We Rise that we are issuing a digital copy of Art of Life magazine. Again, it's a historic publication that it is edutainment centered, so poetry on the spectrum of the creative, literary, cultural, and performing arts. And so we have a digital version of the Art of Life magazine. We are featuring one of the fastest rising singer in Jamaica, Ginger, to bridge the gap between the different art forms. And we do a profile on all our performers so that people can know more about Generation Next and more about the established people. So we have our own platform to share our own narrative and tell our own story and share our own reality. And so we feature our sponsors on it as well. And we have poetry in it. Obviously, we have an editorial. We have messages from the Jamaica Tourist Board, JPS, Jamaica National Bank, VW Investment. We have something on RFM, Soundchat Radio. We spread it around and use the Art of Life magazine to showcase our sponsors and our creative people. We couldn't really do this as well, without the performers. So even though you don't classify them as a sponsor, they could easily be a sponsor. They're a partner supporter, and so they are a member of what we call the PIN family, the Poetry in Motion family. And so we want to thank every one of them. We want to thank our technical people that helps with the video streaming, the interior decoration of the venue, the production in the PA, the sound, the light. We want behind the scenes, and we want to thank the people that they rented us the venue at a good rate, knowing that we could do it from our homes, but we want to maintain, certain community aspect of the event. And so it takes a village, my brother. And for Poetry in Motion, I can tell you, we want to thank the charity. They support us in terms of helping to get the word around. We support by getting people to donate to them in cash and kind. So that's Friends in Need. They are located at 10 Hargreaves Avenue. So they'll accept food and clothing for the people that they support. And on the live stream, we'll give the information so that we'll do it on our social media platform. So you can look out this week. I give you my word. You can see it on Poetry in Motion Facebook page. And you might see it on JTVR, Jamaica TV radio pages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Friends in Need, the bank account at Scotiabank, and any other pertinent detail that we are allowed to give so that you can get in touch with them directly. We are not a broker for them, so you can get in touch with them directly, and the information will be in our live stream, and you can donate to them. We don't accept donation at this point in time, but our charities do accept donations, and in this case, Friends in Need, please, it's a worthy cause. They have been around for 30 years, credible, heartbreaking, heartwarming service them give to the community. They bathe the people, clean them, feed them, clothe them, help them out, back to school, find a way for the women who find themselves victim of domestic violence and other kind of problems, and the males who find themselves out of a job and living on the street and could do well with a suit of clothes and with a bath and cutting them hair or whatever else they need. It's interesting. And so, observing these people over the years, well, I have to really say big up, because, sometimes we people very scornful and, sometimes we are cowards as well, because for good reasons as well, because some of these people can be boisterous and even violent. So we really want to big up Friends in Need for the sterling, credible work that they have been doing over these decades, and certainly within the close to 10 years. I've known them. We have been supporting them for 7 years. And even while we don't sell one ticket, we supported them last year. We find a way to make it happen. That's why they say we are a miracle worker. And this year, the same thing applies. We are going to support them. And in addition to the donations that they might get, we're not going to pay that any mind much. We'll do what we are capable of doing for them, and continue to support them, in any way we can right throughout the year. And so if your listeners are so inspired, they can feel free. And this week I start posting their information, and it will be on the live stream. You can support them as well. But in any event, they are part of the 19th staging of Poetry in Motion, the longest running and most successful annual poetry festival in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Our 19th annual staging, Sunday, February 27th, 3 p.m. Jamaica time, and we start sharp and we end at 5 p.m. and we're presenting a whole range of brilliant family-friendly performers, getting the support from our corporate citizens and our patrons in Jamaica and the Caribbean, around the world, America, Canada, Europe, including UK, Australia, Japan, New Zealand. We have a lot of listeners gradually from the continental Africa, from South Africa. We get a lot of people from Ghana, from Botswana, from Zimbabwe. We start getting some people from Ethiopia, not a lot. We're getting people now from Nigeria. So growing, and we're happy, and we're thankful for your support.
Well, Yasus, I just want to say, thanks for taking the time out to just come on the platform and brief, the people about Poetry in Motion, which, as you said, 19 years in the running. That can't be anything easy to really continue to deliver, and over-deliver, in terms of the production, the quality, and the people and the poets that you're able to bring to the platform. So we just want to say thank you for really sharing with us tonight. And I know, going forth to the 27th, there will be much more coming. And, as together we rise, building our nation, as the name suggests, we'll also be along with you, whatever we can do to help promote and grow the whole staging. We are here to do it. And we just want to thank your production team, the team that you have working with you, because we know they're working hard behind the scene, as you said, and the sponsors, thanks for coming on board, and all of the performers, who will be coming to deliver that clean message, on that particular day. We know it's clean music, entertainment, storytelling, everything strictly clean, bridge the gap between all different religion, division, everything, It's something that, as I said, everyone can come out and feel welcome. And it's a family event. So guys, you guys can tune in, give and lend Yasus all the support that you possibly can. And it's a big thing. It's a big part of our culture, poetry, and to know that you have taken it to another level. You're like, the way that Amanda Garman had just hit the US, with her voice, and just let us again realize the power of poetry, and the power in terms of entertainment, and when it is done in the right way. Put it that way, So I just want to say thank you, Yasus, for being here on this program. Thanks a million.
Yeah, my brother, you're most welcome, and thank you for giving us the opportunity and for speaking so generously and truthfully about what we are doing, what we have done, what we need to do, and what we'll be doing on the 27th and beyond. My brother, all the best way together we rise, building our nation. That's a part of our mandate to advance the welfare of the entire humanity. So we are on the same page and the same journey. No wonder we are holding hands and supporting each other moving forward. So take care, my brother. All the best for you and your family and your extended network. Your beautiful little daughter in the background. And we'll be in touch, and we know you'll be in our audience. On Sunday the 27th, 3 to 5 p.m., Poetry in Motion, our 19th anniversary staging. And as you rightly said earlier, my brother, the pen is mightier than the sword. And so, if people learn to express themselves in poetry and the creative arts, then they'll be better able to manage their emotions, and we'll have a less violent society. And so I want people to support what we are doing, knowing that that will help us to create a better Jamaica, a better Caribbean, a better world, a better humanity. So Rastafari, bless it and set it clean, intelligent for the entire family and community at Poetry in Motion, Sunday, February 27th at 3 p.m. See you there on Jamaica TV Radio.
Blessings, my brother. See you. Take care.
Yeah, man.